Pokemon's closest thing to a flat earther. Go!
It's like we have this picture of reality that's a big puzzle piece, and then one of those pieces just wasn't fitting.
This is Typecasting, the 5th episode of Season 4 of the Pokémon anime. I've actually been rewatching this season lately. One, because Pokémon TV is currently posting these episodes, and also for a future What If video, so I'm getting familiarized with this batch of episodes. It's known for being one of the weaker seasons of the original series, mostly due to how stretched out it feels. This is the season where Ash took over 20 episodes to get to multiple towns with gyms after all. However, one episode of this bunch stood out to me, and that was this one. Let's delve in to find out. So it starts out fairly typical. Ash and Co are traveling in the woods and find a river they need to cross since the bridge is out.
There must be some way to get across.
Misty, you have a whole team of water types. Ash has a water type. Use those! What, afraid of your clothes getting wet? This hasn't stopped doing previous episodes. Even so, I'm sure there's enough material in the general area to build a raft. I'm just saying, this is one of the primary conflicts of the episode, and there's a lot of easy ways out of this. So the main gist is that this old dude in a boat will take them across, but only if they can find him a Sudowoodo. Fair, I guess, so it's a wild goose chase for a Pokemon that is mentioned to be rare and, oh, Psyduck finds it immediately.
That's just a bunch of trees.
Oh, goody, the North Petalburg juice was being injected before that episode. I know the whole deal is that Sudowoodo disguises itself as a tree, but come on, it stands out. It has a fucking face. The Pokedex even says,
"This rare Pokemon hides in trees to avoid capture."
I don't know, maybe check the trees? But this doesn't last long because Misty sees it immediately and the chase is on.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
This leads them to the subject of today's video. Well, subject, but we'll get to the other one in a bit. These two scientists are standing on stumps arguing about Sudowoodo. This is Pierre and Marie, and they're in a heated debate over Sudowoodo's type. Pierre thinks it's a rock type, and Marie thinks it's a grass type. Right away, there's a problem with this debate topic. Obviously, Pierre's right. Something like Sudowoodo's type should be easy to look up in a Pokedex. You know, the one Ash used to look it up earlier. But let's hear some of the arguments.
I agree with you, Misty. I can't believe it either, but all the experts claim the Sudowoodo's a rock type. But when my colleague opens a book, he shuts his mind to the possibility the experts are wrong.
That's a can of worms. But you know, science is always changing and updating, so let's hear another one.
He chooses to ignore eyewitness accounts of Sudowoodo using fire attacks, which clearly indicate that we need to look for some more answers.
Alright, let's apply this wonderful train of logic to other Pokemon. Bulbasaur knows Tackle at the start. Clearly it might not be a grass type. Pokemon use moves that aren't their own types all the time. That's not even just a game thing either. Ash's Pikachu knows Agility. Does that make it a psychic type? Now, to the episode's credit, it's trying to play it off like a debate on studying in books versus studying up close in person, but the execution is so poor. Mostly because they make Marie so stupid you wonder how she even got her license to do this.
Did Sudowoodo use dig? Maybe that means it's a ground type.
These conclusions are stupid within the world of Pokemon, and extra stupid if you feel like factoring in game logic where a lot of non-ground types can learn dig via TM. Heck, the concept of debating Sudowoodo's type isn't even a bad one. They just picked the worst type of characters to debate it. It'd be better if it was two argumentative little kids, for example, not grown-ass scientists who should have the information ready. And they track down Sudowoodo and have a battle. The main thing to take away here is that Sudowoodo's a wannabe Chikorita.
Is Sudowoodo using Vine Whip?
And little Chico's waifu isn't taking too kindly to this.
Chica!
Well, it's true. I see you blush whenever she's on screen.
Chica!
But what this battle does tell us is that Sudowoodo can use grass moves, which causes more confusion. But it also seems scared of Totodile's water gun, leading to thrice more confusion. And the whole time I'm just like, oh my god, open a Pokedex or something. This thing is in the Johto Dex. Surely Professor Oak, Elm, or whoever could tell you its type. But we don't have time to dwell on the solution because Team Rocket took Sudowoodo while I was talking. They're good. So Team Rocket wants the Sudowoodo too, mostly because rare Pokemon are their thing, and because they want to have the old guy take them across the river since their balloon crashed. You know, they probably need it more given that unlike Ash & Co., they lack water types. Though the image of James floating on Weezing across the river is so funny to me. Now this Sudowoodo is wild, so surely they can find another one.
We'll never find it again.
Or you'll just fixate on this one. I know the Dex mentioned it's rare, but come on. You found this one fast. Surely it won't take too long to find another.
I'll leave my friends and dedicate myself to working with you around the clock 24/7 every minute of the day and night.
Brock, oh the Brock. You know what happened last time you did that.
By the way, Brock, Professor Ivy sends her best regards.
Mom.
What's wrong?
So Team Rocket brings Sudowoodo over to the geyser and...
Are you really a Sudowoodo?
You do know what one looks like, right?
Why isn't it saying anything?
'Cause it's a Pokémon? Does it need to meet specific requirements now? You said bring a Sudowoodo.
Well, whatever it is, it doesn't look too healthy.
I mean, you did say they need to catch it. You should assume it'd be pre-weakened. This does lead to a nice game reference where James tries to give it the squirt bottle and it bolts. This is technically about that part of the game since Ash and Co should be around that location at this point. And the Sudowoodo goes back to the gang and Brock does this.
I'm your friend, like a friendly Lickitung.
Jeez, Brock, have you no shame? I know this video isn't for kids, but show some dignity here. Do not tell the Sudowoodo you'd later have Sinnoh about this. Then they finally get to examine the tree, but not exactly a tree, close up. And after failing to get it to use the Vine Whip it did earlier, it does this.
That was a Thundershock! How can it be an electric Pokemon?
Please stop.
Apparently, it uses one called Mimic.
Well, there's your answer. The experts had it there the whole time. Speaking of experts, Marie may be dumb, but Pierre isn't too much better.
And rock types are weak against water.
I'm no science expert, but that doesn't feel ethical. Do scientists in the Pokemon world normally do this?
Turn that water off now!
But it's the quickest way for me to prove that I'm right and you're wrong about Sudowoodo.
These guys are adults, by the way. As an aside, if the experts knew it could use Mimic, shouldn't the experts also have figured out its type? How poorly researched is Sudowoodo? This feels like one of the first things they should be able to figure out. Naturally, this causes Sudowoodo to get the fuck out of there.
We want Sudowoodo because we're the ones who caught it.
You stole this Sudowoodo!
Stole it from who? The forest? From rewatching a lot of episodes, I've noticed there are several instances where Team Rocket is going after something that is wild, and Ash tries to stop them when Team Rocket could get around this morally gray area by just throwing a Pokeball. What's funny is that they did this once later in Diamond and Pearl. Took them 11 seasons to figure out the obvious. Oh, and the old man is Marie's grandpa. Given him asking if a Sudowoodo is really a Sudowoodo, I guess stupidity just runs in the family. So a Team Rocket battle ensues. Honestly, they technically didn't do anything illegal here, but I digress. So it uses moves like Low Kick and Feint Attack, moves it uses in the games, and Team Rocket says this.
Sudowoodo uses sneaky tactics like Feint Attack and Low Kick. It's tricky, slippery, and cowardly. We found the perfect Pokemon for Team Rocket.
I mean, they're not wrong. I know they mentioned wanting to give it to Giovanni earlier, but then Jessie says this.
Now, with a little help from you, your friend will be joining us.
I kinda wanna see them on the same team now. Also, it's got a personality that work off them really well. Just look at this exchange earlier in the episode.
We'll eat. Just tell us what type you are. Sudowoodo! Meow. According to Sudowoodo, it's the type that wants to eat.
That snark fits in so well with the team. Oh yeah, the scientists.
Sudo?
Yes, we've established this earlier. So yeah, Team Rocket blasts off and they finally conclude it's a rock type. So they try to make this conclusion that they were both in the wrong in some way, and it's like, no, one of you was clearly right. They try to justify this by saying,
You see, we never would have learned as much as we did about Sudowoodo if we hadn't come here and observed the real thing.
I get what they're trying to say, but a lot of these facts they were learning about Sudowoodo, be it from the Pokedex or the books Pierre has, was most likely found by observing it. What, did they just guess? It comes off like the experts never do this just because this one guy was up his ass about it, who is meant to represent the experts. Also, Marie's denial of the research and saying that the experts may be wrong makes her come across as making assumptions on how they did their research. I'm just saying someone here is more on the right than the other. That doesn't excuse this.
And rock types are weak against water.
I'm sure there are better ways of figuring out its type than that, come on. To conclude this on something less deep though, their bickering was pretty annoying. There wasn't much humor in two grown scientists arguing like children over something that should be easy to look up. It really brings down the episode, not to mention how dumb a lot of the characters in this episode are in general. It's the kind of dumb where it feels like it's only made like this to push a conflict, which just feels aggravating. Which is a shame, because I love how dumb and quirky Sudowoodo is, and the one in this episode was such a snark master that it made the episode not completely unwatchable. Luckily, Brock would get a really fun one later in the series, so I'm glad there's some light for this Pokemon in the show. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go look up religious debates in the Pokemon world, because my Arceus is that Pokemon probably laughing at those.